Kansas History Final Test, Part 2. Directions. Mark the answer sheet with your choice. Be sure to check that you are marking the correct number on the answer sheet. Question 1. The Chisholm Trail was A. One of several cattle towns in Kansas. B. Marked the area where Texas cattle could not go. C. Cattle trail that ran from San Antonio, Texas to Abilene, Kansas. Next part is matching. Choose the correct letter to complete the sentence. Your choices to match are A. William Allen White, B. Cyrus K. Holliday, D. Fred Harvey, E. Monopoly. The two questions you use for these answers, you have questions 2 and 3. Question 2 is what blank established the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railroad? Number 3, blank established restaurants, hotels, and dining cars along the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe rail line. Number 4, there was a national interest in building an blank railroad connecting the east and west coasts. Was that B, nonstop, C, underground, D, transcontinental? Number 5, which of the following crops were not grown in Kansas? B, rye and barley, C, grapes and fruit, D, rice and avocados. Matching. Choose the correct letter to identify the person it describes. Your choices for 6 and 7. B, worked for prohibition in defense of the family. C, started the socialist paper Appeal to Reason. D, wrote the editorial What's the Matter with Kansas? 6, carry a nation. 7, William Allen White. Number 8, the Prohibition movement wanted to A, ban electioneering, B, prohibit the manufacturing and sale of alcohol, C, equalize the income tax structure. Number 9, Kansas was the first state to C, ban the use of alcohol for personal use. D, pass a constitutional amendment that allowed the that outlawed the manufacturing or sale of alcohol. E, allow alcohol to be sold in restaurants. You may pause the video to complete the first page. Populism was a national movement closely associated with A, farmers, B, socialists, C, railroad owners. 11, populism developed as a response to C, high debts and low prices for farmers. D, the writings of Emporia editor William Allen White. E, alcohol being sold in restaurants. Number 12, the purpose of the Little Blue Books was to A, Make literature affordable to everyone. B. Tell the story of the Kansas farmer. C. Provide factual and neutral information on American politics. Next section is matching. Write the correct letter next to the name of the person it describes. Your choices for 13 and 14 are A war correspondent during World War I. B, turning sermons into cliffhanger stories to encourage visitors to return to his Topeka church each week. C, president of an automobile company who started his career as a locomotive mechanic. D, a public health reformer who banned the public drinking cup. Number 13, Walter Chrysler. Choose from these four. 14, Samuel Crumbine. Again, choose from these four. 15, the progressive movement was about B, prohibiting the sale of alcohol, C, getting the vote for women, or D, building a better society. 16, the child labor laws were designed to protect children from A, unsafe working conditions and working in certain industries. B, working on family farms before age 16. C, the spread of tuberculosis in factories. 17, Swat the Fly was a slogan used to A, honor baseball players who caught fly balls. B, promote election reform. C, inform the public that flies carried bacteria. You may pause the video if you need to. Really? Sorry, my friends. All right, moving on. 18, the discovery of oil in the Eldorado field. C, started the Kansas State Fair as we know it today. D, made a lot of money for Kansans and diversified the state's economy. E, contaminated the water in Eldorado. 19, salt is found in Kansas because A, it is dug up when farmers plow their fields. B, the state was once covered by the Permian Sea. C, farmers needed salt to produce wheat. 20, World War I strengthened the Kansas economy because C, the Allies needed Kansas salt. D, Kansas farmers sold wheat to Europe, where agriculture had been interrupted. E, Kansas provided the beef for the soldiers. 21, the flu epidemic of 1918, A, may have started at Fort Riley in Kansas. B, killed more people than the battles of World War I. E, all of the above. 22, World War II caused the disruption in everyday life because Kansans, B, discovered oil and gas in the state. C, had to conserve certain foods as well as fuel. D, had faith in science and technology. 23, Liberty bonds were B, tickets you could buy to ride on early airplanes. C, a way to raise money for the war. D, loans given to Kansas farmers if they agree to participate in the state fair. 24. William Allen White decided to run for Kansas governor in 1924 because C, he wanted to be known in history. D, he wanted to stop the Ku Klux Klan from expanding into Kansas. E, he wanted to support the United Mine Workers of America. You may pause your video if you needed to. 25. The Dust Bowl resulted from A, years of drought and overplowing and overgrazing. B, the damage done by establishing rural electrification. C, mining strikes in southeast Kansas. 26. The New Deal was A, jazz music being played on the streets in Kansas City. B, a series of programs that helped unemployed people to get jobs and other measures to restore the economy. C, the governors ordered for college students to work in the mines during the strikes. 27. The only Kansan to be elected United States President was A, Bob Dole. D, Dwight D. Eisenhower. E, Walter Chrysler. 28. During the 1950s, more and more Americans were moving to the residential neighborhoods called B, urban, C, rural, D, suburbs. 29. Before Brown versus Board of Education, Kansas cities of more than 15,000 people were allowed to blank elementary schools. A, desegregate. B, combine. C, segregate. 30. The fastest growing county in the state is C, Lynn, D, Johnson, or E, Miami. 31. When soldiers returned from World War II, the GI Bill of Rights, A, meant soldiers had to pay more for houses they wanted to buy. B, allowed many soldiers to go to college for free. C, kept soldiers from finding jobs for a year after they returned. Please pause your video if you need to. (32) Segregation in Kansas schools had to be changed because A, it cost too much money. B, it violated the U.S. Constitution. C, there were not enough textbooks to go around. 33. Born in Russell, Kansas, he was one of the most influential and powerful U.S. senators of his time. C, John Finney. D, Bob Dole. E, Ron Evans. 34. Some Kansas communities are experimenting with an old idea to bring people back to rural communities. What is the idea? A, railroads. B, cattle trails. E, homesteading. 35. Major exports from Kansas include A, clothing and televisions, B, beef and airplanes, or C, watches and chocolate. 36. To become a naturalized citizen, an immigrant must C, pass a test on U.S. history and government, D, have the ability to read, write, and speak English, E, all of the above. 37. Conservation is the A, newest political party in Kansas, B, careful management of natural resources, or C, way in which people will communicate in the future. The end.